Oh my God, you guys, welcome to lesson 7 where things get awesome. So you'll notice that I'm in OneNote. OneNote is a program that we use on our computer. So say you don't like something about OneNote. Too bad, you have to live with it because you don't have access to the actual project. You just interact with the program. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning how to get interaction from the user using Java. Yay! All we've been doing so far is changing things within our program. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to actually start interacting with our user, which is usually you. But sometimes it's me because you guys turn stuff into me. So go ahead and get yourself set up here. And don't forget to turn on public static. Now, Java doesn't just let you do this. So we're going to have to import a couple things. So come on down to line 7, and we're going to import java.io.star and a semicolon. So what this does is it imports anything that has to do with input output, which is what IO stands for. So down here in the bottom where our program runs and displays things, we're actually going to be able to type down here and interact with our program because of this input output. It's going to take our input. So the IO is just all the input output, and the star means that we're importing just everything that is encompassed by IO. We could call on particular things that we would need to use, but for me, it's a lot easier to remember star is just everything I need instead of remembering every single little thing that I'm going to need. We're also going to import java.util, again, star, because it's easier to remember. These do need semicolons after them. Don't forget semicolon. All right, and the thing is, put these to memory. You're going to have to use them for almost everything you come up with for Java from now on. Because whenever you're writing a program, if it's not interactive, there's not really a point to it. You wouldn't open Chrome and just expect it to do what you needed it to do. You have to interact with it and tell it where to go and what to do. And so we're going to be doing the exact same thing from now on. All right, we have already talked about different variable types. So one of the types is int, double. We've also talked about string. And today we're going to learn a new one called scanner. So scanner we're able to use because we imported IO and util. So we're going to, this is again, it's going to be a variable name, so you can name whatever you want. Call it dog and equals. And anytime you call on a new class, which the scanner is, we're going to do new scanner and then open close parentheses and system.in. Okay, so for this, scanner is a class and dog is an object. So keep that in mind. Java is referred to as object-oriented programming. So this is kind of your first taste of what that really means. Okay, so now that we have the scanner set up, now we're going to ask the user a question, and we're going to do that just the same way we printed every single time since you guys started the class. So system.out.println and say like, enter your name here. Don't forget that semicolon. Okay, so now that our user has seen the question, we need to give them a place to answer it. So on the next line, come down, and if you're entering your name, is that a string, an int, or a double? I'll give you a sec to think about it. Hopefully you're seeing at your computer that your name would be a string, and we're just going to call it name. That's easy enough. So we have string name, and we're going to use that scanner that we created. So we're going to say dog.next, and see it even shows up right here. So go ahead and end your statement with a semicolon. This means that the next thing that the user types in is going to be stored in those parentheses. So it's going to be saved as the variable name. So now we should print it out. So let's come on down, do a system.out.println. And I'm going to actually say something. So we say your name is, and then don't forget the space. And then after that quote, we're going to concatenate with that name. So we're going to say plus name and close that line. Okay, so if we try to run it, it comes back with an error. So let's look and see what that error is. This cannot be resolved to a variable. Look right here, system is capitalized, system is not capitalized. So go ahead and put in a capital S, then let's interact with our computer. So we hit run, it says enter your name here. Okay, so it says enter your name here, I put in Miss Spaunhorst and it says my name is Miss. So what next does is it prints everything up until a space. So if we type in my name and I take that space out in between, it runs it just fine. Also, I think it's kind of goofy looking to have my thing on the next line. So I have a space in here. So I'm going to take off print line and say just print, do it. So if we run it again, we can type in that same line and just press enter to get it to go. Okay, so this whole thing asks for the user to enter a string. And also in OneNote, I made a couple notes for you guys. So these are the 3 big lines that you need. So the first line is that one that says scanner. Okay, so the first line calls the scanner. So scanner s equals new scanner system.in. Okay, semicolon, close that. The second line asks a question. So that's where we do system out every single time. And the third line gets the response. So we'll say like the variable equals s, s dot next, open, close, quotes. Okay, so those are the 3 things that you're going to have to do every single time in that order when you're using a scanner. You call a scanner, you ask the question, you input their response. You guys are now ready to go on to the second video for lesson 7.